You're road tripping with Todd Sawatzky Appraisals. Welcome to part 11 of this in-depth guided tour through Hockey Hall of Fame's Resource Centre. In part 10, we got to see artifacts from over 100 years of Toronto Maple Leaf history. That King Clancy jersey dating back to the 1930s was truly incredible, and there's so much more to see. In this video, we're actually going to take a look at how the Hall of Fame preserves their artifacts for generations to come, as well as technically concluding our tour of the Resource Centre. But don't worry, there will be a bonus episode 12. Yes, our left here, there's a whole bunch of, I guess, trophy cases?
It is. So this is where all the NHL trophies are stored when they are not traveling or on display. Obviously, you spoke with Mario before, and the trophies are constantly moving, going to different places, but when they're not on the road, this is where they are, including the retired trophies. This is the Colonial Cup from the old United Hockey League.
Fantastic.
Which we had in, where did we have that? Quad City. Quad City, the old Quad City Mallards.
Nice.
UHL.
All right. This is certainly a different area. What is this area called?
Well, this is the, I guess, conservation preservation room. It's the archives is sort of the back house of the museum. This is the back house of the archives. So when artifacts come in, either from our own museum or one of the outreach programs, which Isaac Westgate so wonderfully looks after, whether this is a display in Moose Jaw or Kazakhstan, if those items come back or something new is donated, then we bring it here. And so after the documentation process, accessioning of the artifact or collection, it then comes here with the idea, and it's primarily for textiles and certainly for natural fiber textiles like original leather, wool, and that's what we call them, hockey sweaters. So it'll come here. Once these items have been frozen for a period of time, and it's usually a handful of days, a week or so, it can happen longer. We then will remove these from here. They'll come here. That will be full. What you saw to the left of the freezer will go in. After about another week or so, this is a precautionary. Just in case there's a little critter or family of critters or whatnot that could get into something, we want to make sure that we kill them. So they can hibernate, but they can't hibernate twice within a short period of time. So it's if you look at...
I understand the logic for sure.
Right. So the old pads in the 70s that had maybe a little white felt and whatnot, and horsehair and leather and stuff. So obviously something could theoretically get in there. Or an old sweater, sweater worn in the 50s or 20s or whatnot. So we want to make sure when something's donated to us, we want to make sure it looks exactly like it does today when it's donated 50 years, 500 years down the road. This is just a simple step, but a very important step to make sure that we don't have an infestation.
That's amazing.
So touch wood, where things just move. They move through the process. They then come here. And as you saw with
all the stacks,
it will go to the appropriate American Hockey League shelf or, University Hockey in Canada or whatnot.
Amazing. Thank you. So in front of us, we have, I guess the easiest way to call them is the mini trophies. But for the NHL awards, these are the sizes that the players get to keep?
Correct. So unlike other sports where they make a new trophy every year to give them, hockey has perpetual trophies, which have all the names engraved on them and are a great part of history. So players, instead of getting a trophy like that, they get a miniature replica of the trophy that they won. So you can see they're about 12, 13 inches tall, depending on the trophy. And there's only one made every year that's given to the recipient. This is a replica set. It was made separately, but they're very strict on not making extras for the most part.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right. I mean, I already know I could probably spend a month here and try to keep shooting everything that's here and still not get everything. So I think we're going to have to wrap this up because you don't have all day either. But I had some of my viewers had a few questions, and maybe as we're heading out, we can see if you can answer them. How often do things get rotated from the main Hall of Fame from here?
So not as often as we like. We do try to change all of our exhibits down in the museum at least annually.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a little less than that.
Okay.
To make use of everything that we have here in the archives, but two, to make sure everything is preserved properly in our archive that's climate controlled.
Okay.
Our cases downtown aren't necessarily, and so we want to make sure that everything's around for people to see 100 years down the road.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. And of course, I've been granted this wonderful privilege to be here today. Are tours like this common? For being in the resource center?
Yeah, we do it for people in the hockey industry, friends and family of the Hall of Fame. We'll bring them through. We are a public archive, so people can visit to do research or to visit and just look at things with an appointment Monday to Friday anyway.
Okay.
So we don't turn anyone away. But in terms of official tours, we've now actually started to use it as a little bit of a revenue generator for the Hall as well.
Okay.
Being that we're nonprofit, we're always looking for different ways to help offset the costs. So.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I mean, of course, with so many wonderful artifacts here, is there ever a time that you actually sell them?
Never. We don't sell. Everything that we have in our collection is donated to us. As a nonprofit organization and museum, it's our responsibility to make sure it's kept and preserved for future generations. So there's nothing we have that's sold. There'll be times with a larger, maybe a book collection or a program collection, where we may not need all parts of it, and then we can use that at a collectible show, maybe to bring some funds back.
Okay.
Artifact-wise, nothing is ever sold. It's here permanently as a donation.
And I guess finally, how do you determine the value of the items that are donated?
So everything under $1,000 can be appraised by our curator.
Okay.
For tax receipt purposes. Anything over that, we go to outside sources such as yourself.
Okay.
We'll get 3 different sources for every donation, and then take the mean value of the 3 to come up with the tax receipt purposes.
Fantastic.
Otherwise, really, the values, the only thing we need them for is for insurance purposes, because once they're here, they're one of a kind. We don't sell them, and if we lose them, we can't replace them anyway. So the value is not as important to us as it would be to a collector.
Fair enough. Thank you. All right. Well, I think we only scratched the surface today. So that's just a fraction of what's really going on. And thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Thank you very much for your time.
Coming by, and next time we'll make sure Phil's here, and you can do a Keeper of the Cup segment.
Ooh, now that would be fun. All right. It is truly amazing the depths that the Hockey Hall of Fame takes to preserve all that hockey memorabilia, all those artifacts. Well over 100 years of history sitting in one building. I was there for roughly 3 hours, and I only covered a drop in the bucket. I didn't even see newspapers. I didn't even see hockey programs. There's so much more to see and so much more to look at. And 3 hours is a lot of time. So I am truly honored and privileged for the opportunity I received. And I am truly privileged that I'm able to share that with you. As stated earlier, there will be a bonus part 12. That video is going to be about one item. The original Kelly Cup, the championship trophy for the ECHL that was won by the South Carolina Stingrays. So please stay tuned for that. If you have any further suggestions for any future road tripping videos or any of my other video series like Treasures from the Vault, Hobby Heroes, or Appraisal Definitions, I would love to hear from you. Please feel free to add your comments below. Please like and subscribe to my page. If you would like an appraisal done for yourself, please email me or contact me via any of my social media. Until next time.